Good evening, I'm Tyler West and this is Talon TV. Stay tuned for the most recent updates on the investigation into Governor Andrew Cuomo, an apology from YouTube star David Dobrick, and the latest on local sports. A year ago today, Daniel Perdue, a 41-year-old black man, suffered a mental health crisis that Rochester police officers responded to. Police say he was displaying erratic behavior, which may have been caused by an acute amount of PCP in his system. Perdue stopped breathing while lying naked, handcuffed on the ground in 30-degree weather, while he was pinned down by multiple RPD officers. After his heart stopped, he was taken to the hospital and put on a ventilator where he died a week later. The Monroe County Medical Examiner ruled his death a homicide, yet all officers involved in Perdue's death will not be charged. This decision comes from a grand jury who elected not to indict. Protesters took to the streets of Rochester to demand justice for Perdue when the reports of his death went public in September. An independent investigation completed by an investigator hired by City Council did reveal that city officials suppressed information about Perdue's death from the public. The investigator said in his 84-page report that the decision to suppress the information from the public was ultimately Rochester Mayor Lovely Warren's, but the responsibility falls on other officials as well. Former RPD Chief LaRon Singletary retired shortly after Perdue's death became public, along with 3 other RPD officials. And today, protesters are celebrating Daniel Perdue's life, calling it Daniel's Day. Earlier in the day, demonstrators rallied at Parcel 5 in Rochester before reaching the East Ave Wegmans, stopping at intersections along the way. Protesters stayed in the Wegmans parking lot for a few hours, eating pizza and listening to music. Organizers from Free the People Rochester say they chose to occupy this specific parking lot because the store on East Ave in the city uses uniformed police officers for security purposes. This is the only Wegmans in the Rochester area that does this. The store closed its doors because of this to the public to ensure the safety of their customers, but they will reopen tomorrow. A celebration of Daniel's life started today around 5 p.m. on Child Street in Rochester. I'm Tyler West, and this is Talon TV.
High school football resumed play this past weekend after a long hiatus, and Brockport High School opened up their season last Friday night with a matchup against the East Ridge Lancers. Despite high expectations for this season, the Lancers seemed to be too much for the Blue Devils. The Brockport offense struggled in the first half, which was plagued with penalties and turnovers, as well as a tough East Ridge defense, which made it difficult for the Blue Devils to push the ball down the field. The East Ridge Lancers, however, had no problem pushing the ball down the field via their run game, which was led by running back Eric King. The Lancers struck early in the first quarter, following a tackle for a loss by Brockport defensive lineman Shimon Johnson. East Ridge quarterback Michael Adams threw a touchdown pass to wide receiver Mark Gray, giving the Lancers a 7-point lead. In the preceding kick return, Brockport fumbled the ball, giving the ball back to East Ridge at the 43-yard line. In the very next snap, East Ridge quarterback Michael Adams threw a 33-yard touchdown pass to Brady Schaefer. After that, the Lancers elected to go for 2, which led to Noah Bowens taking a shovel pass to complete the 2-point conversion, which put East Ridge up 15-0. However, during the ensuing kick return, Ryan Judd found his way into the end zone for a 98-yard touchdown to put the Blue Devils on the board. East Ridge proceeded to block the extra point attempt, keeping the score 15-6. On the next East Ridge drive, the Lancers used their run game to march down the field and concluded when Michael Adams threw the ball to Amir Proctor, who ran in for a touchdown, making the score 22-6. It wasn't long until East Ridge once again found themselves in Brockport territory, as Adams got himself another passing touchdown with this pass to Mark Gray to put the Lancers up 28-6. From there, the East Ridge tempo began to slow down as the Brockport defense began to pick up the pace, including an interception from Jacob Falve. In the third quarter, the Brockport offense also picked up the pace, with new quarterback Ryan Judd throwing a 19-yard touchdown to Jacob Falve. After a successful 2-point conversion, the Blue Devils found themselves in the red zone again shortly after and closed out the drive with a 1-yard touchdown run from quarterback Ryan Judd. Cutting the lead down to 8, the Blue Devils failed to reach the end zone again. The Lancers were able to run out the clock for a 28-20 victory. Ryan Judd finished with 49 yards in rushing, 30 yards receiving, and 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 passing, while Dylan Kleehammer led with 57 passing yards, completing 7 of 16 of his passes. On the Eastridge sides, Michael Adams finished with 107 passing yards and 4 touchdowns, while Eric King led rushing with 111. Next week, the Blue Devils are on the road to take on Gates Chili. I'm Kenneth Sauer with Talon TV.
Good day, SUNY Brockport. Welcome to the news you can trust at News for Brockport. For your statewide story, we are continuing our report from last week concerning the impeachment trial of Governor Andrew Cuomo. In the investigation concerning Cuomo's sexual harassment allegations, a new case has come forth. 33-year-old Alyssa McGrath is not only the 8th woman to reveal her story, she is also employed under Governor Cuomo as one of his personal aides. McGrath accuses the governor of making indecent remarks and comments concerning her body. According to McGrath, herself and another unnamed female aide of Cuomo's were subject to these inappropriate displays. McGrath further elaborates by claiming that her co-worker was groped by the governor in one incident and that Cuomo told her not to say anything about what had transpired. Speaking for herself in a more personal incident, McGrath states that Cuomo stared down her shirt in an office meeting. In an interview with the New York Times, McGrath stated, "He has a way of making you feel very comfortable around him, almost like you're his friend. But then you walk away from the encounter or conversation in your head going, I can't believe I just had that interaction with the governor of New York." Governor Cuomo's lawyer, Rita Glavin, has stated, "The governor has greeted men and women with hugs and a kiss on the cheek, forehead, or hand. Yes, he has posed for photographs with his arm around them. None of this is remarkable, although it may be old-fashioned. He has made clear that he has never made inappropriate advances or inappropriately touched anyone." Governor Cuomo himself has apologized for his actions, saying, "I never ever meant to offend anyone or hurt anyone or cause anyone pain. I feel terrible that these people felt uncomfortable, felt hurt, felt pain from the interactions, and I'm embarrassed by it, and I feel bad from it." Even though Governor Cuomo has refused every call for his resignation, his impeachment trial is still underway. Thank you for listening to the Weekly News Minute. I've been Paul Schmidt with News for Brockport.
David Dobrick is a well-known YouTuber who has gained 18.6 million subscribers. He is well known for his vlogs and his past fame on Vine. However, in this world, cancel culture has made a strong uprising and has finally caught up with this YouTuber. A podcast called Frenemies starring Trisha Paytas and Ethan Klein has recently been exposing David and his vlogs. Trisha Paytas has gotten a lot of her information from watching the vlogs and from her own experiences. In the past, she was dating one of David Dobrik's best friends, Jason Nash. From this, we can understand that it was an unhealthy relationship and ended in a huge social media mess. Due to the anger of their relationship, Trisha has since been exposing David and his vlogs. In the podcast Frenemies, Trisha has stated on her own personal struggles with David, such that he kept making jokes to her boyfriend at the time to cheat on her with an underage girl. Adding to this, it seems David has failed to ask for consent for posting pranks that his friends participated in and did not want posted. This information gotten to the public because people who did not want the video posted have came out on live meeting with the podcast Frenemies discussing on the matter. It has also been said that David has recorded or mentioned girls getting sexually assaulted in his vlogs. The problem with this is that he didn't bother to tell his friends to stop while it was happening, as well as still posting the video. These many issues brought to light are the reason for David Dobrick getting canceled. However, social media could not let these kind of things get by without being noticed. David had recently made 2 separate apology videos on the matter. However, what is in question is if his fans will still support him after hearing about all these claims. This is Katrina Bown from Talon TV, and that's it.
With the men's March Madness bracket almost halfway through, it's down to just 16 teams. The few that remain aren't your typical top teams. 3 of the 4 number 1 seeds still remain, and they are Baylor, Michigan, and Gonzaga. However, there are a few teams that surprised everyone. Number 12 Oregon State plays number 8 ranked Loyola Chicago. Number 15 Oral Roberts beat number 7 Florida in the round of 32. Finally, number 11 ranked Syracuse defeated number 3 seed West Virginia University 75-72. In the last 2 games, Syracuse has been on fire. The spotlight has been on Buddy Boeheim. He has accumulated 57 points in the first 2 games of the tournament. The only other person to do this was Gary Clark back in 1957. Boeheim has combined 13 for 23 beyond the arc. While Buddy has been the star, he's backed by a team effort. In the round of 32, Merrick Dolezaj, Quincy Guerrier, and Joe Girard III each had 12 points against number 3 seeded West Virginia. Cuse will have to watch out for the Cougars' hot hand Quentin Grimes, who scored 22 points in their win against Rutgers. Another challenge for the Orange is that Houston is one of the best rebounding teams in the country. Syracuse will take on a tough 2-seeded University of Houston on Saturday, the 27th at 9:55 p.m. on TBS. I'm Linsey Madison for Talon TV. Catch it on the rebound and go Orange.